What's your Tyler's back with a random countdown list I do. No, like on the phone, who I count. It's my opinion who. By the way, my sister Danielle got the new kid, and the kid's name is Perry. So, God, it's been a crazy year for me. Dad got some surgery. My sister got another kid now. Me getting another console, the PS5, which WTK25 will be home to that system. Because there's one more DLC a week from tomorrow, which tomorrow is episode 51 of Showdown. So there's that. And then Thursday on my secondary channel, subscribe, click the notification bell on that one so you'll see the first of 4 Survivor Series reviews. Of course, we gotta do 4 on November because it's Survivor Series. It's the biggest show of the month of November. Regardless, last month on these countdown lists, I talked about, get games, 30 games got weird and creepy. The storylines, that is. So, it was mostly just Undertaker stuff, which, here's another list I made. These are the wrestlers I like to use in these wrestling games. I don't say, like, a WWE or WCW. There's a TNA, some in TNA also. But the obvious, let's start this list off. Um, the obvious ones are obvious, the ones I always love to use in these games. The first is obvious, Triple H. I mean, come on. Every time I hit somebody with the pedigree, it's always fun to use him, And, hitting his signature knee, his spine buster, And obviously, Triple H is the man who is in charge of WWE right now, and is doing a hell of a lot better than what Vince McMahon does. I didn't watch the documentary. Don't make me do it. Don't. Okay? Although nobody's not going to tell me to, but really. You got an obvious one. The Undertaker. I mean, every time I want to use The Undertaker, it's always, his epic entrance, whether he was the dead man or the biker character. I mean, it's always fun to use him, doing the soup bones, the choke slam, the last ride, the tombstone pile driver, um, and other stuff like that. And another one I honestly do like to use a lot, Kane. It's kind of funny because these 3 guys are still going strong in these video games. I mean, there was like a list I saw. The other 2 are obviously Edge. That streak was over when 2K24 hit, and Vince for obvious reasons. I'm not going to the whole something right now, but Kane, I mean, it's always fun to play with Kane because, he always, like, kind of has similar moves to The Undertaker, but not really, though, because he does, like, the flying clothesline off the top. Every time I use the choke slam, with his entrance, it's obvious that another character I love to use. And some current wrestlers, Roman Reigns, he's always fun to play around in like his debut in 2K14. He was fun to play in that game. The other one, Seth Rollins. He is also a fun character to use every time I hit somebody with the curb stomp. Yeah, I say curb stomp a lot. I don't say stomp. I always say the real name, the curb stomp. Yeah, both are still in these 2K games now. They're probably gonna be in next year's game, obviously. Other wrestlers I like to use. I know a lot of people are gonna be criticizing this guy, but Chris Benoit. I mean, I know his last appearance was SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, the best SmackDown vs. Raw game, but I know a lot of people know it was his last video game appearance because of something, something, something. But it's always fun to put somebody in the crossface, doing his triple suplexes. And yeah, I mean, we know what happened. I'm not going into full detail, okay? I just want to be reminding him as a wrestler, nothing else. Moving on. Another person, is not with us anymore, Eddie Guerrero. It's always fun to play with him. His fun moveset, his entrance with the lowrider, his frog splash, and yeah, he's always fun to play with, and he's still in these 2K games, and he was probably gonna be in next year's game. Another person I like to use. Coincidence, I'm wearing this shirt, Rey Mysterio. I mean, come on. It's fun to play with him, but because he's always fun to play with because he's always like to fly around, the stuff, the ring and that, 619 people doing the frog splash, it's always fun to play with Rey Mysterio. Another one, AJ Styles. I mean, it's obvious I met the guy in 2017, but he's always fun to... The first time we all know the first time we ever used AJ Styles was the TNA game from 2008. I really do like that game, AJ Styles was my main on that game. It's the Styles Clash. I mean, in 2K games, he's still really fun to use, His debut was in 2K17 and still going on to this day. Yeah. WCW wrestlers, the first one, I had to go with DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. I mean, Thunder was bad, but DDP was one of the more fun characters to use in that game, and then there's another one I'll get to. I mean, hitting somebody with the diamond cutter, it's always fun to use. He was the original out of nowhere guy before Randy Orton stole it from him. Not really stole it. I mean, I guess he asked for his... I forgot everything about wrestling's flashbacks, but still. Another one is Sting. I mean, hitting someone with the Stinger Splash, Scorpion Death Drop, Scorpion Deathlock. Another guy I actually met in 2021. The first WCW wrestler I actually met, funnily enough. Speaking of more like others, I like to use Sheamus because he has like a really fun moveset in that game, in these games. His first appearance was SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. He's always fun to play. He was really fun to play in that game, and yeah, I really do like to use Sheamus. So yeah. The other two biggest names from the act here are The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, The Rock with his just bring it, and Austin with the middle fingers. So yeah, it's always fun to do the rock bottom or the most electrifying move, the people's elbow. Like Jerry Lawler always loved to say that it's one of his best one-liners. I mean, I do a lot of my action figure stuff, and Stone Cold is hitting someone with a Stone Cold Stunner, and my favorite part of doing the stunner is from SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 in the bar fight. You drag them into the bar like thing and grab the beer. You don't have to use Stone Cold, but grabs the beer, gives it to the opponent, does the drink. You look at him, do the Stone Cold Stunner. It's always fun to use Stone Cold and doing the stunners in that. What else? I'll say one more WCW wrestler for that. Big Show, I actually do like to use him, I always like to choke slam people, and yeah, Big Show for Legends contract, come on, or Big Show for Hall of Fame, come on. But yeah, Braun Strowman, I really do like to use him, because I love using the big boys, Big Boy Braun is one of them, running power slamming people, just mowing people down, you know. And there are some female wrestlers I like to use. The two get to my point. Asuka and Charlotte Flair. I mean, they're really fun to play with, and there's that. Trish Stratus is another one I really do like to use. Becky is another one I like to play over. Also, and there's one more. This will be the end of it. The last person I love to use in these wrestling games. Goldberg. Because he's so OP. Spearing people. I love to hit someone with the spear. And doing the jackhammer. And time is recording, he will have his last match of 2025 in WWE, so most likely he's going to be in 2K25, and you obviously know I'm going to have to use Goldberg for that. I mean, I love to use him a lot in WCW Mayhem, and Here Comes the Pain, and, you know, those games. He's so fucking insane to use, you know, the jackhammer and the spear. He does gorilla presses and other stuff like that. And yeah, there are some others, like Rob Van Dam, the Sandman. There's some others I can... Kurt Angle is another one I like to use also. But those are like the main ones I like to use a lot. Drew McIntyre is another honorable mention also. But Samoa Joe also, but that's all. And Lita also. So yeah, that's it. Showdown episode 51 tomorrow. It is Thursday on my Signature Channels. Private Clan Location Panel. That one's you will see on Thursday. Survivor Series 1999. You know, the first of 4 Survivor Series reviews. And there. Like this video, comment below, subscribe to this channel right here, click on the notification bell, and see you for episode 51 Showdown. Bye-bye.